What up, podcast? What up, Mark?
Not too much, same
I'm
old,
excited
same
to
old.
have you here.
I'm
Because
excited to be here.
We're talking about juicy topics today.
Yes.
What are we talking about?
Porn. Mostly squirting.
Ew.
Well, I'm trying to tie it in with the juicy.
Okay, good.
Don't give me stuff to build
You're
up.
warming up the audience. You're warming up the audience. Okay, so we got porn, like really the entertainment industry too. And it doesn't have to be just porn, but like just our fascination with entertainment. Second topic was relationships. So just about like, yeah, we'll see where that takes us. And the third topic, we'll leave it open to go with the flow.
Open.
Good? So,
Perfect.
porn, what do we talk about?
Phew.
Like, what do we even start with?
It all depends. What kind of porn do you watch? What kind of porn do you like?
When I was younger, I listened to porn. But I don't listen to porn anymore because I think it's so, like, fake. Even if I just click on it and I start watching, I'm like, there's nothing that turns me on about this because it's so staged and it's so, like, character-y. And even the beginning of it, before they even get to, like, the sex part, it's like, oh, hey, do you want to open the book? Let me read what you're reading. It's so cheesy and gross.
Plenty of people love bad acting. That's why they have the movie The Room.
I have never seen that movie because it's probably horrible.
Oh, yeah, you can't. I don't know anyone who's made it through the whole movie. But
that's it. So how can you watch porn?
Because it's not always that bad acting. And sometimes you're not there for the acting. You're just there for the hit it and quit it. Get in, get out. Maybe you want some new moves to impress that special someone.
Oh my god. But okay, most of the time the moves that they do in porn though, like they don't even feel good.
No, because they're
like
meant so the camera can see.
Exactly. It's meant for the camera. It's meant for the extravaganza of things and to like for you in bed.
But like you can always find more real porn. There's people that amateur porn and upload their own videos and they do make money off of it. But
really?
Yeah. There's a lot of people that do that.
How much do you think they make?
Well, it depends if people like their videos, but I'm sure feasibly 1,000.
1,000 per video?
Yeah, about. If they're always posting, but then like you always have to wonder if your partner is gonna consent to it. You can't just throw it up on the internet,
I
right?
hope not.
Like and say, but babe, we made money. It doesn't work out.
No,
it doesn't.
And it lives forever. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Your kids will see it.
It's true though. Everything that you put out on the internet today, you have to make sure that like you're comfortable with your grandkids watching this.
Yeah, it will never go away.
Not just that, but like I know a girl who was in the porn industry and now and I think it was like 10 years ago, and now she's known as the girl who was in the porn industry. Like people look at her through that lens. Like she can be wearing clothes, people will picture her naked because they've seen her naked.
True, but at the other sense, like I'm assuming when she was doing porn, she was comfortable with people like seeing her. Inevitably, that will happen. So you can't be just like, oh no, I don't like this anymore. Like I know your views can change, but like you have to understand like what you put out there is now set like that. So you can't take that back. You are that person, but you can also differentiate yourself too a little bit.
Do you think you can? I feel like
it might be very hard, but
yeah.
I think there's ways of doing it. Like look at Malik Khalifa, or is that her name?
Who?
Malik Khalifa or Mike Khalifa.
Is she a porn star?
Yeah, she's a huge porn star, but like now she's also like owning porn industries, like helping with the shooting of videos and stuff like that.
Oh wow!
And she's making a name for herself as a director in porn still. But that's very like everyone knows her from her porn, but they also know her for doing this stuff too.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, sometimes the porn industry helps our cities more than the government does.
What do you mean?
There was a thing a while ago when in the States a giant snowstorm hit, and they couldn't get the streets plowed fast enough. Pornhub bought plows and sent them to clean the streets.
What?
It's also great advertising, but that's crazy. And Domino's is doing the same thing. They're filling in potholes and they're stamping it with a colored
that's
Domino's.
Amazing. Wow, I didn't even know that.
Corporations for the win.
Oui, especially with our problems in the city.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's mostly happening in the States because whenever you watch anything on internet or TV, it's usually always in the States or filmed in the States. I don't know why people don't film more like locally or in Canada as much. Maybe there's a big price difference. I'm not 100% sure on that.
There's a huge price difference. We're so cheap here. Yeah, I don't know. Back on porn, I think do you think that there's an issue with watching porn?
I think there's an issue with watching too much porn or expecting your sexual activities to be like porn.
But then when you watch porn, you set your sexual experiences up for disappointment because porn is so like times 1,000 that everything you do in bed will not even measure up to that.
True. Or if it does, they might be faking it. I'd look out for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it all depends on what kind of porn you're watching. You can watch a certain type of porn where like you don't want the people you know or the people you love to be doing that, but you kind of just want to see that experience, like a meat spin or
meatspin.com. That's what we used to watch in high school.
Or that guy, one guy, one jar, where he puts the jar up his ass and it breaks in his ass. Like you don't want to see anyone that you know doing that.
But is that considered porn? To watch a glass break in your ass? And like, is that pleasurable?
What makes something porn? That someone's nude and they're doing sexual...
That's a good question. What categorizes porn? Yeah. What is porn?
I would classify it as anything pleasurable nude. I'm assuming the guy was putting the jar up his ass because it was pleasurable. Wow. In the end, it wasn't. But then there's like BDSM where that might not be entirely pleasurable all the time. Bondage, sadomasochist.
Oh, yes.
And dominance.
Oh, dominance, yeah.
BDSM.
Okay, but like, let's say somebody loves cleaning their ears and that's pleasurable. And they're naked. Is that porn?
I would say that's porn. I'm sure if you were to type that into a porn site, you'd find porn.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about this before the podcast and you said, I was like, cartoon porn, they're not going to have that. And you're like, you Google any cartoon that you know and they will be having sex on the internet. I'm like, Rugrats. No way.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure even if you type in just on Google with safe search off, and you type in sexy or nude, whatever, you will find a picture.
Like I can't picture Hey Arnold nude, and I can't picture him having sex.
I know that one definitely exists. I see it on ads. Like that definitely exists.
Why are those ads popping up on your computer? That's the real question.
Always, no matter mostly Pornhub, there's always at least one cartoon ad placed somewhere along there, either hentai or just regular cartoons.
I have to admit, I've never seen cartoon porn. Is it pleasurable? Can it invoke like feelings?
It can invoke feelings, but they're not always great. Like hentai, it's more like very like obscure shit happening.
Like what is hentai?
Hentai would be anime porn because anime is always anime. It's not to be confused with cartoons. People really separate the two.
Okay, yeah.
So whenever it's Japanese animation, it's anime. So their porn of it is hentai.
Okay,
which
hentai.
The hentai industry actually started because in Japan they had to blur the genitals of any porno actor or actress. So what they did was they made cartoon porn where they didn't have to blur it because it was a cartoon.
Wouldn't that defeat the entire purpose of porn? Why did they have to blur it? That's so weird.
I don't know. That's their law. I don't know why. I guess they thought too many young people would be watching porn and it would give them false like thoughts of what sex is. It wouldn't be like exactly realistic. So they have to blur all the genitals in Japan.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder
Tits
if they
are
still
okay,
do that.
but not. Yeah, they definitely still do that.
Okay,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry. I researched the hard shit so you guys don't have to.
Wow, that's insane. Okay, I know there's this thing on the internet called fapping, and it's like the no fap club.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Fapping is just masturbating. Whether you're a girl or a boy, it's fapping.
Are you sure that it's called fapping for females?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Really? I thought it was beating.
It might have been beating, but now I'm...
Or flicking the bean.
Flicking... Wow, that's just a joke term.
But fap is for the sound, right? Because I've seen cartoons. Yeah. The only closest cartoon I've actually seen, which is crazy because someone showed me this when I was like 11.
11? You were watching 11. Porn, cartoon porn at 11?
Actually, it was an older person who showed me this, like 35 years old. And
this is starting to sound more scandalous than other things.
No, it was someone close to me, like an uncle. But no.
Oh shit! Please tell me about your experiences.
You Google this, and it's not weird. Well, it's very weird, but the context is not weird. It's called Princess the Dog. It's just like a mini series. Who's that fluffy bundle of love? It's Princess. Princess. Yes, there's this cartoon called Princess the Dog, and it's where Princess walks into the room and Princess senses something's going on, and the mom, like a real character human mom, is giving the guy head, and all of a sudden he is like pushing her head too much and her head explodes. And then like there's a detective that comes in and he's
what
like,
the fuck show is this?
You gotta look it up. And then the detective comes in and he's like, okay guys, I'm gonna have to inspect the body. So then the princess stays, the dog stays, and then the parent leaves, the guy who's still alive leaves, and then the detective like starts doing weird shit to the dead woman's body.
Oh, necrophilia.
Yeah, necrophilia, that's another thing. What do you think of that?
That's some fucked up shit.
Dude, it's all so fucked up. We're fucked up humans.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We are. It's
we are.
weird.
Yeah. As humans, there's not one thing that we do that's not fucked up. Considering that animals don't do half of this shit.
Animals, right? Animals can have sex the same way for the rest of their lives. Why do we have to be so complicated? Why do we have to mess shit up?
Something of like we get pleasure out of it and animals don't. I'm not exactly sure if they really don't, but that's what, from what I've understood, they don't.
That we get pleasure out of like...
Yeah, from what I understand, the only two things in the world that get pleasure when they have sex are humans and dolphins.
Yeah.
So, because dolphins have been known to rape people.
To rape people?
Yeah, they bring them underwater and they rape them.
That's crazy. I'm not going in the ocean when I go to Mexico. I'm not going in the ocean. What? Do they have dolphins in Mexico? This is my uneducated self.
Yes.
Do you think?
Yeah, they have dolphins. They got dolphins in Florida. They got dolphins in Mexico. For sure.
Yeah, probably. I'll steer clear of dolphins. Yeah, I don't know. But
we'll go swimming with the trained ones. Don't go off with those random ones.
With the random what? The untrained dolphins?
Yeah, don't go off with wild dolphins.
I'm not going to go to any dolphins. I don't care if they're trained or not. I'm done. I'm done with dolphins.
You're done with dolphins.
I'm done with riding dolphins.
Even the football team. You're done with dolphins.
I'm done. For the no-fap thing, I came across a YouTube video and it was like a serious thing. It's a no-fap club because apparently masturbation has become like this huge dilemma for a lot of guys, especially guys who like are single and who can't like, who don't want to find a girlfriend or who can't find a girlfriend. They are consumed with like the idea of masturbation and it becomes this drug, and then they don't get pleasure from actually having real sex with real women. What do you think of masturbation? Do you think it's an issue?
I think there's points where it can be an issue, and if it's an issue to you personally, you should probably stop or like talk to people about it. But
it gets awkward to talk to someone about it, you know?
It all depends on how much shame you have, in all honesty.
I'm pretty sure if you have a problem with masturbation, you probably have a lot of shame.
Yeah, you probably don't want to tell anyone about it because you don't want to seem weird or off, you know?
Yeah.
But it's all to a personal level what is a problem and what's not. Only you can tell yourself what's a problem and what's not. Someone else can't say, hey, that's a problem. But like people smoking, some people can quit next day, you know?
Yeah.
And some people smoke for 25 years. So
that's true.
And, you know, you'll never view it as a problem even if you smoke for 25 years. You know there's health things associated, but it's what you enjoy doing. So it's not an actual problem.
Yeah.
So it's weird. But I do, from what I understand, because do you remember the site called Omegle?
Omegle?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, so there's Chat Roulette and Omegle. They're like basically...
Chat Roulette. What was that? That was
There's a video, you click on it, and then it brings you to the next person.
Like porn?
Well, it turned into that, but it's not really porn.
That was in high school. I remember
that. Yeah,
it
was just basically like you click on a video, you get a new person. Half the time they're just naked. Just masturbating. Okay, it's just a guy masturbating. So I was on that with one of my friends together, fucking 4 months ago.
Okay.
And we were just clicking through videos. It's about 4 a.m. And then we got a bunch of Swedish girls from high school. They were all on Omegle during class, which I questioned them about because the site is just people jacking off, really. I had to sift through like 800 people just masturbating just to find people to talk to, normally. God. And they're...
But you don't go on that site to just talk to people.
You do when you're really bored, you know?
Okay.
If you really got nothing to do. So anyways, we were talking to them, And we're just like, why are you on this site at school? Like, there's just a bunch of people jacking off. She's like, oh, well, you guys are actually the first people that, like, are actually talking and don't have their dicks out. We're like, wow, okay. And they were telling us that in their school, they have a problem with porn, where a lot of the guys during their lunch break are in the bathroom watching, like, BDSM porn.
What?
And, like, not interacting with people. And I was like, that's crazy.
Like, all the guys.
Yeah, like they were telling me, like, I didn't see one guy in the classroom. It was only the girls staying in the classroom. I guess it was their lunch break. And
in Sweden?
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, and
why?
they were saying it's a big problem because, like, the guys expect that from them when they want sex.
Okay.
And, like, they're not sure they want to deliver on that. And I was like, that's crazy.
That is crazy, man.
Like, so porn is definitely warping a lot of people's minds.
Expectations too.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you grow up listening to porn your whole life, and then you see a girl, or even from a girl's perspective, you grow up listening to porn, and then you meet a guy, and then you're like, okay, bend over, and then you whip out this whip, and he's like, whoa, what the fuck? Porn becomes like your normal filter.
Yeah.
And like, yeah,
which isn't healthy. So
well, it could be healthy if you
no,
find
yeah,
someone
but you
who...
should always discuss with your partner what you're going to be doing.
Yes.
Maybe beforehand, because there's maybe some stuff that she's not into. Maybe it's a first date. Don't ever bring this shit up on the first date. It's more.
Maybe you should bring it up on the first date, because you don't want to be like 4 dates down and then they find out like you're down for different shit.
Yeah, I guess. But I feel like there's always room to compromise further down the line, like with your partner. Like, you eventually do want to try something different.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, doing new things, and like, maybe you could use porn as an inspiration to try new things.
Yeah, exactly. Because how else are you gonna know what's another move you can do? You know, I'm doing that. Like, my imagination can only go so far. Like, how do you find inspiration? You just gotta browse a lot of porn, I guess.
And like the shit that's out there, I remember my brother and sister, they're pretty young, okay, and they're like first year and second year of high school. So they're like super into this stuff, like, you know, especially when you're in high school, everyone's like, oh, porn, huh? Okay, they discover it. And I think my brother and sister were over, and they're like, oh yeah, putting on the big TV, they're like, fish porn. I'm like, I hear it, I'm in the kitchen, and I'm like, what the fuck is fish porn?
What?
I'm picturing like fishes having sex. No, it's like real humans with fish on their genitalia. It's disgusting. There's shit out there that you don't even know exists.
That's technically illegal in Canada. So you might want to not watch that.
No, like, they weren't watching it. They were just doing it for fun. They're like, no, look at this. And they Google like fish porn. I'm like, oh my, this exists?
If it exists, there is porn of it. Rule 34.
What's Rule 34? Oh, yeah.
If it exists, there is porn of it. So there's definitely porn of it. There's so many little things like on the internet that you'll never know unless you're like either actively searching for it or come across it. Like, once you start watching weird videos, it starts, hey, this person likes weird videos, so they'll send you other weird videos to watch, right? And you're like, oh, well, that one's similar and that one's similar. But like, some of it is toxic, but it's only toxic to me. Like, I'm like, oh fuck, that's crazy. But then like, there's other stuff that I might watch that people might think the same thing. You know, like there is this thing called I think it's baby porn.
That's horrible.
It's no. It's people like our age, but they dress up in like diapers and shit.
That's not what I was expecting.
And revert and like act like they're children or like shit like that.
Well, that's better than what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, but it's fucked up nonetheless. But there are people that do enjoy it, and it's like, well, we can't just like kink shame them off.
But it's kind of the way I see it, like. The way I see that is role playing. It's kind of like role playing, you know?
Yeah.
Which I think is totally fine. Like, role playing is cool, in my opinion. Like, role play as characters, role play as different genders, role play as the dominant one. Like, that's sick. But, like, that's fucking weird, actually. I don't think I would ever role play that. That's fucking weird.
There's a ton of, like, different things. Like, there's people who, they're called otherkins.
Otherkins.
Yeah, so basically these people think that they're animals. They were born in the wrong body and they're animals. So when they get home, they live their life like that. So that their porn is like that. They get home, they put on a collar, they eat out of a bowl, they have a butt plug tail and ears, and they'll
What the fuck? These are real humans.
These are real humans.
But they do it for fun. Or
Yeah.
they really think that they're otherkins.
Some people really think that they're otherkins, and some people do it for fun, you know? Like,
Oh my
it
God.
could also be tied into a dominance thing where, like, the guy's like, oh, you're going to be my dog. Like,
Oh my God.
some people like to be treated badly, you know? You gotta, you know, it's not for everybody, every type of porn. Like, you gotta find what you like. Like, you said your experiences with porn you didn't like because you thought it was fake. So,
It depends. Like, when I was younger, I would watch a lot of porn.
like...
And I would watch a lot of, like, porn. I guess I don't want to get into what I would watch.
No, come on.
Well, I would watch a lot of lesbian porn. Because, like, girls know what girls like. So back then, like, I didn't think anything of it. Today, I'm bisexual, so it makes more sense to me. But, like, girls know what girls like. And I just found, like, the grunts and the moans from the guys would be, like, really gross.
But what kind of lesbian porn were you watching? Was it, like, very, like, love in turn to their feeling lesbian porn?
No,
or was
because
it
that
just,
shit was
like,
gross.
going at it?
No, it was, like, just, like, going at it. Like,
Okay.
the porn, the get to the business and let's go.
Because there's, like, for women-only porn, like,
Okay.
on most sites they have it. And that involves more emotional, like, satisfying things where they, like...
But
they
I
cater
think that's
more
wrong
emotionally
too,
and have
though.
more, like...
I think that's a misconception too, that women only care about like this soft stuff. Like, no, a lot of women don't want to get
but a lot of
to the
women are
good
turned
stuff.
off from porn because
Yeah.
maybe it doesn't have that sort of emotional connection, whereas you can get it
For
through...
me, I'm turned off by porn because it has that gross cheesy shit that's like, oh, come hold my hand, like the whole scenario and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, even today, like,
yeah,
if I
have you
go-
ever seen the funniest porn video I think to date? It's like the bathtub one. So this guy's sitting in his bathtub and a lifeguard shows up and she's just like, I hear you don't have a lifeguard at your beach. And the guy's like, this isn't a beach. This is a bathtub, lady. And she replies to him, no body of water is safe without a lifeguard present. He's like, there's about 2 feet of water in here.
I don't get it.
It's fucking... Well, because he's sitting in his bathtub taking a bath and a lifeguard shows up out of nowhere.
What the
Like a
fuck?
hot lifeguard.
Okay, that's so dumb. That's so dumb. This is what I'm talking about. It's so far-fetched. It's like, the content is so ridiculous, you can't even focus on, like...
Then you should probably watch more amateur porn.
I don't want to watch porn. Like, I don't see the... Seriously!
Come on.
I don't see the appeal. Like, when I was younger, the only reason I would watch it was because we weren't doing that stuff in real life. When you're doing it in real life, I feel like you don't really... There's not a need. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So... Yeah. What about watching porn with someone? That would be kind of weird.
There's a lot of couples I know that watch porn
Together?
while they're having sex.
Whoa, that's weird.
So, like,
that's
maybe
kind of like taking the attention off of...
them, but, like, maybe sometimes you want to fantasize about someone else and your partner's cool with that. And then you just pop on a porn video and you pretend she's the girl that the other guy's fucking.
That's so
You try to
bad.
fuck her in the same position.
You
Or vice
pretend.
versa, you know. She wants to fuck like a Brad Pitt or something, you know. I'm sure there's porn of it. Because there's actually deep fakes. You ever heard of deep fakes?
Deep fakes?
Yeah, basically there's a program that you can use that takes all your videos that you put and all your content that you put on the internet, and it will like learn how you move and stuff like that, and then it will take that to post your face over like an actual porn actress so that it looks a lot like you. They try to find one that has you build and they make fake videos. It happens to a lot of celebrities.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Some of them are very convincing, some of them aren't that great. Technology's getting there, but imagine someone wants to see porn of you, and they have
You
porn
can
of
do
you.
anything with the internet.
Yeah,
That's scary, man.
but a lot of people are using it to blackmail now.
Like pretend like, oh, if you don't
Yeah,
know me,
like I'm gonna release a porn video of you, but it's not even
it's
of
not even you.
You know, but what can you say to defend yourself if it looks so super real? Like, how do
You
you
don't want
defend
that
yourself?
out there. Yeah, but if it's not you, then it's like, do what you want.
But everyone will think it's you. You know, depending on how good.
Yeah,
they
how
actually
good the
get
editing
it.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. The internet's a scary place.
It is a scary place. Okay, let's segue to relationships.
Okay, I have to hit her. No.
Okay, let's segue into relationships.
No problem.
Okay, what do you think? Okay, do you want to talk about like what do you think of relationships today?
I think a lot of relationships today just don't last long anymore.
Yeah. Is that okay? I mean, is there anything wrong with that?
Personally, I don't like the idea of relationships not enduring a longer period of time.
Are your parents together?
Yeah, my parents are together. They've been together for like almost 30 years now or something like that. You know?
That's your filter. That's your
that's what I've grown up learning, you know. But there's also not a problem with people having multiple partners. It's just that...
Oh, at the same time? Or like over the course of a lifetime?
Over a course of a lifetime. Well, even at the same time, there are people who enjoy that. Yeah. I won't shit on those people either.
Yeah.
But like... For me, I'd rather see relationships last longer, and I don't see any relationship lasting very long anymore. Like now, there's Tinder. When people have a problem, they just like leave and find someone new. No one deals with any problems. It's weird, you know.
I don't know if they don't deal with problems so much as like they are bored. They're bored, and it's not like, oh, I'm sick of fighting. Which yes, that is a huge problem. But it's more like, what else? Now it's like, okay, I'm good. You served your purpose. Now what's next?
Yeah, it creates kind of like a disposableness. And just like this need for new. We're in a generation of such fast-paced next generation, in my opinion, which I love, which is why I'm producing so much content. Because I'm like, okay, this episode's done. Next. On to the next thing. On to the next person. On to the next conversation. What happens when we're older then? You know, we're all used to, like, our grandparents they stayed with each other forever, right?
Yeah.
Is it going to continue fast-paced at that age? Or, like, I'm interested now to see what's going to happen. Like, are we going to still be changing partners a lot as, like...
That's really interesting.
The older generation? Or is there a point where people just settle down regardless?
I feel like, you know, we're seeing a lot more elders with tattoos, which is so cool. And that's just to say, like, things...
They're not just military tattoos either.
No, and they're not just like, you know, love you, ma, tattoos, which you see on, like, all, like, 70-year-olds right now.
Yeah.
But that's just to say, like, we're really seeing a difference with our elders. And I feel like it's normal to have 4 different sets of grandparents. Which I literally have.
Yeah, because there's a lot of divorce and stuff
like that. A lot of divorce, a lot of remarrying.
But out of those grandparents, they have all stayed together in their relationships, I'm assuming.
That's true. Mostly. They're not like hopping.
Yeah. Which is like, I'm wondering, is there a point where you settle down regardless? Or is there a point where you're just going to keep changing partners? Like, I can see it at an old folks home, but like, what if you're in a town that's not super accessible to people? Is that what will make the divide? You're just going to stick with one person because you can't meet other people, or
yeah, I don't know. I think it's to each their own, because I also do believe that people can go their whole lives without finding their soulmate, and so we can't bash those people who just haven't found real love.
Also, on that note, out of all the people in the world, what are the chances that your soulmate lives near you?
Exactly.
Like, how crazy is that, you know?
So like, if you're waiting for the perfect person just to stay with them forever, and then you end up dying alone because they're not fucking here. They're in Mexico.
You shouldn't wait forever. You should go to Mexico. Go
find your person.
Love.
No, that is to say, like, travel and go actively search. You and I were talking about, like, you in a relationship, and we were like, okay, Mark, why are you single? It's because you fucking want to be single. Because you're not looking for a relationship. You know? And that's what it is. And, you know, if you were going home at night being like, oh, I'm single, wah, wah, you would probably actively be searching.
And if I didn't, I would definitely be depressed, because, like, you know what the problem is and you're not solving it. That will cause you a depression.
Yeah.
So, like, if you feel a certain way, you should try to pursue it. Not just saying, like, if you like someone way younger than you and they're not of age, then maybe you should go see a psychiatrist or someone to talk through that a little bit, maybe understand it a bit more. You probably shouldn't just pursue that. Like, actually, you know, it's always a good idea to see a psychiatrist regardless, if you think you're sane, if you think you're insane.
Do you think?
Yeah, why not?
One?
No, I don't see one. I should. I should take my own advice. I know.
Well, no, it's okay. I don't see one either. But it's just because every experience I've had, I haven't been able to find a good one. I've had 3 for one time each. I went to go see one. She looked at the clock as I was bursting out crying. I left. Number 2, she laughed in my face. Number 3, we didn't click at all. I was like, whoa, what's your problem? You're not teaching me anything.
So the problem is they weren't
clickable. We didn't mesh.
Yeah. So maybe there's always that problem too. They didn't mesh, but you like even if you think you're happy, you should always talk to these people because they've talked to these people like a lot of people who have a lot of different problems. So like maybe like you can see why you're anxious or something, or like if something's bothering you. It's always a good idea to see them. They talk to a lot of people. But I think there's actually sites online where you can go see, and like they try to match you with a psychiatrist that's more fit for you. But
Really?
it's not something for like people who want to actively commit suicide. It's
more
more of just like
like
a day-to-day help stress relief, or like I'm having problems with my relationship. I don't know, like
and
stuff like that.
and then you go to couples therapy.
Yeah.
Which, well, you know what though? From my experience of like actively trying to search for a psychiatrist, I've realized that talking to real people has helped me way more and has been my therapy, because you guys don't have any other intentions, any ulterior motives.
But
you know that you're not getting paid to talk to me right now.
There's a lot of people that like won't or can't ever express this to the people they know, or are friends with. And there are also a lot of people who maybe don't make a lot of friends, or maybe make a lot of friends that they see in person, because a lot of people only make friends on the internet now. You play video games with them, you meet them through there, or you may never actually come in physical contact with these people. It's not to say that they're not friends, but it gives a different feeling of connectivity. You know, it adds layers of connectivity actually meeting and talking to these people for real life. You know?
Yeah, I guess it depends how you look at it.
Yeah.
Because it could help, and then you could find people who just, you don't feel like they have
or
your
maybe
best
you
intentions.
take one person's advice, one of your friend's advice, and it doesn't necessarily work out for you because like your feelings didn't come across well to them, or maybe they,
or they're too close to you to give you solid advice.
Yeah. But if you do have a bunch of friends that you're comfortable enough talking to with, you should bounce ideas off them.
Yeah.
But individually, if you talk to them as a group, I think they'll feed off of who's ever strongest and stay with that.
There's actually psychology behind that. Your needs and every individual's needs when you're put together in a group is to serve the highest good of the group. Isn't that insane? Which means that if everyone in the group wanted to commit like a crime, individually, if everyone didn't, well, we would have to go with the group because that's for the good of the group. Yeah. That's crazy.
It's like a social aspect to it. So you should probably talk to your friends individually.
Of course.
Maybe
that's why I don't like group settings, because weird shit happens and you can't control group settings. You can like control the conversation and control like, which is other issues, underlying issues of control. But like, yeah, a group setting, weird shit can happen.
I love group settings. It's fun.
Yeah, but let's say at a party, okay, and then you're with a group who's like, for instance, which has happened before, a group who's like, oh, let's go beat this guy up. I was a part of that, and I was like, fuck this. I can't believe you guys are even fucking thinking about attacking this guy. Fucking bye, I'm out. And like, you can't do anything about it. You can't stop all these people, or what? They're gonna turn on you? So I fucking left that situation so fast. It's weird. See, group settings are weird, man.
I'm known as the guy with the really bad ideas. So whenever we get drunk and people are like, "Oh, let's do that," and I'm just like, "We're not doing that." They're just like, "You know what? If Mark said it, maybe we shouldn't do that. That's pretty
cool.
crazy."
That's cool.
So if you set your real like your non-drunk standards to being something, and like everyone's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go pull a chair behind a snowmobile in the middle of the night," like. Oh, maybe we shouldn't do this at night and at least wait for the daytime when we're not drunk,
To still do the stupid idea.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's see how good the idea is in the morning, and then we'll base it from there. So, like, usually if I say no, they're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't.
That's good. You've got pull.
Yeah. But it's also like I got some bit of willpower that says, no, I don't want to do that,
You've got a brain.
So, where some people will just be like, oh, whatever, I'm going along with it. Or like, I want to be cool. I want to be like doing what everyone else is doing.
Followers.
But a lot of the time being cool is doing what you're doing, and then people will start following you.
Yes. Amen to that. I love that. What about couples therapy? Do you think that shit works?
Yeah, to a point. It all depends on like how far you are apart, like
And if you're too far apart, wouldn't you just want to like end it right there?
Yeah. But like I was saying, some people maybe want a long-lasting relationship. Other people may not, only want a short-term thing. So there's those issues too that the couple should probably talk about. But usually it's a lack of communication between the couple. That's why they need the therapist in the first place. Because for couples therapy, it's not like individual therapy. You're trying to console two people to get on the same page. Whereas if you're a couple, you should probably be a little bit more on the same page, or like a little bit more like sympathetic to your partner and trying to find a middle ground yourselves anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe it's a better idea that you split up, but also if there's kids involved, it's a very unique situation.
But I hate that too, like parents who stay together just for the kids. I hate that. What if your parents were unhappy?
Yeah,
and you knew, and you'd feel so guilty that they're staying together for you.
Not only that, but you see them being unhappy, and then that's what you carry on into your relationships as you get older, because that's what you've known.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
then you start into an already toxic relationship because you're like, yeah, I should be like this, because that's the example that they set for me.
Which is not good. But at least with the therapist, like, you'll be explaining your problem new to someone because they don't know where you're coming from, so maybe they can help like put things into perspective a little bit more for you, see where you're unhappy, why you're unhappy with that, why that makes you so this way or that way.
Yeah. Therapy. Use it if it works for you.
Yeah, I guess basically.
Throw it out if it doesn't. Okay, let's get into the entertainment industry. Not the porn. We've covered all the porn.
The adult entertainment?
The adult entertainment industry? Like just entertainment in general. How do you amuse yourself?
I just watch video after video. YouTube or Netflix. Yeah, man. It's so easy to get sucked into Netflix series or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. To binge. Well, I haven't binged anything in like a year and a half, but that's because I discovered Big Brother. So I've been doing like
binging Big Brother.
Binging Big Brother. So it's like the same thing. And there's like 40 seasons collectively of like Big Brother UK, US, Canada. So I'm just like I'm going crazy. Yeah. So I don't know any of the updated shows. I haven't seen You. I haven't seen like any Netflix. I'm not even updated on Riverdale. So sad.
I'm not up to date. I don't like the second season of Riverdale. I'm having problems getting through that second season. I heard the third one's great, but I haven't made it there yet. I just can't do it.
But it's cool that that's how you spend your time, because that's how I entertain myself too. I mean, what else do people do? When I'm like, what do you guys do? Like,
some people do knitting.
Yeah, it's true.
But you can always couple knitting with like watching a TV show. Yeah. Just like a mindless.
To be active. While you're watching,
Tons of cooking shows. So you watch a cooking show, you get inspired, you go.
Then you actually cook.
Unless you're like me and you're like, oh man, that'd be really great
to eat.
You sit there
And then you order it.
I have no chances to order it, but half the time when I want to cook something, I don't have those ingredients either because I'm cooking something.
You just watch it?
Yeah, a lot of the time I just watch it, but like if I get motivated enough, I'll go out and like actually buy the ingredients. But like I don't always have those ingredients on hand, I have like the basic stuff, like the seasonings
they have
and stuff.
Like cilantro and basil and like.
No, I definitely have cilantro and basil.
What? I don't. I have like the bare minimum. I don't have any spices. I eat the same shit every day. It's really boring.
What are your dog?
What are your dog?
Here's your food. Today I'm adding water to make it gravy.
I don't like the stress of like, oh, what am I going to eat tonight? What the fuck, man? No. That's so stressful.
I don't find that stressful.
I do.
I love wondering what I'm going to eat, and I come up with so many ideas, and eventually I settle on one. I'm like, oh, this is what I'm going to eat. That's delicious.
No, dude. Give me the same shit every night. I've been eating the same thing for 2 years. Every day. Yeah, I'm probably missing vitamins and shit.
Without spice? Come on.
Without spice.
Without spices.
Yeah, just peanut butter.
People conquered other places for spices and flavor.
Oh my god, it's so true. That's so bad.
Think of how much people wanted that to go out and fight a war for like a flavor.
It's sad though. I mean, the shit that we care about, like
maybe Flavor Town's a real place.
Flavor Town?
Guy Fieri.
What is
he's
that?
always talking about he's a chef. He's a chef. He eats terribly.
Like, does he actually? He orders McDonald's.
Not only like what he eats, but how he eats.
How does he eat? Like a pig?
It's like literally straight up, no word of a lie. But
shoves his face. He's a chef. He needs to set an example.
But he's enjoying his food. That's what you gotta do. You're telling me. You're basically telling me I just eat the same shit. You're not telling me.
I enjoy it every night though.
You enjoy it.
I do because so I have my oatmeal in the morning like with peanut butter in it and almond milk, and every time I eat it, I'm like, oh, this is so good. You have to like love what you're eating. And then at night I have like crispy sweet potatoes.
But you never dreamed of a different flavored oatmeal in the morning?
No, absolutely not.
No, you add some like apples, a little bit of cinnamon in with the milk.
Never. I'm very picky. That could be it too.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't help.
Yeah, but I can't just sit down and watch a cooking show. That shit's so boring. Like, oh, let me watch this person cut. Fuck that, man. I need stimulation. That's another thing about entertainment.
Yeah, but the good ones are fast paced. You like also there's different types of cooking show. Like there's some that you can like learn how the cooks got to that point, like it's their whole life story up until
That sounds really boring too. But yeah, I just like drama.
Or there's there's tons of drama on YouTube. That's where you should be headed.
Yeah. Well, I watch Big Brother on YouTube.
Okay.
So.
Or I was gonna say like call out some big YouTuber, have beef with them. Lots of YouTubers do that for money.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
beef
like,
with the other just to get more viewers and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm not a big YouTuber, and if you were to reach out to like a big YouTuber and they see that you have like I have 200 followers
they know
on
your
YouTube,
view
they're
fishing.
like, okay, bye. No, they don't even answer you. They're just like,
yeah, or that.
But yeah, I think we all need so much stimulation in the entertainment industry.
And it's definitely out there. We make so much entertainment of every variety, but there's a show literally about everything.
What do you mean? A show about everything?
If you're
everything?
No, if you're willing to search for it, there's a show
about everything.
Yeah,
not
about
a
specifically
show
like what you want to watch. Like I watched a 2-hour special about mountains.
Yeah, well, there's porn about everything.
It wasn't about snowboarding on mountains. It wasn't about climbing mountains. It was just about mountains themselves. And you know what? I was sucked in enough for 2 hours to watch through all of it. Beautiful scenery, just amazing.
Just like, oh, and then we have Mount Everest over here.
Yeah, and they talked a bit about like how many people like died a year trying to climb Mount Everest, or
that's
like
actually interesting.
Like people like want to strive to conquer these mountains because like back in the day there were places like where ogres and monsters lived, and now like it's because they placed them there because it was so hard just to get to the top of the mountains, like all the weather conditions and everything, like it was just amazing to watch.
Yeah, that's true. There's another show too, Cosmos.
Okay, I didn't
it's
see
just
that
about
one.
like planets and outer space and the ideas of the world, which is so fucking cool.
I'm assuming Neil deGrasse Tyson voices that one.
You know what? Probably.
Because Morgan Freeman voiced the mountain one.
Did he actually?
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably what drew you in.
Yeah. Oh, Morgan Freeman's voice. I could listen to that for hours.
God, so can everyone in the world.
Morgan Freeman ASMR. Damn. Help me go to sleep at night, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, we all need so much stimulation. Why do you think that is?
Well, back in the day, we didn't have time for all this stimulation. Like, you were just trying to survive, right? You're gathering food.
This is back in the day.
Yeah. Like, you're gathering
ancient
food.
Times.
Well, even, like, when our grandparents, like, were younger, they had to do a lot more work, right? Like, just their food keeping for the winter, there wasn't really fridges, like, back in our grandparents' day, or just a bit before that.
Yeah, that's true.
So they had to buy all their food for the winter. They had to put it in like bins of dirt, like all their root vegetables, so they wouldn't go bad because they didn't have fridges. They had to be out in the St. Lawrence cutting blocks of ice and putting them in hay.
So true.
There was so much more stuff to do. You were having interactions all the time. You weren't bored. But now, a lot of the time, you come home and
everything's done for you.
Everything's done. You don't have much cleaning to do. You sometimes, or like you don't want to do it, so
life is easier, which is why we have more time and we need to
more
fill
entertainment. Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
It's a pretty simple freaking example.
Basically, well, like we're missing out on all those interactions we used to have, like moving our muscles. Well, a lot of people are. Not everyone's going to the gym. Not everyone is doing these things. Some people are just coming home and playing video games, but after a certain amount of time playing video games, no matter how much you like the game, you do get a little bored of it and tired, and you have to switch up what you're doing. You know, you can't always just be doing one thing constantly. You have to change it. That's why it's good to have different things going on.
I think that's actually why fitness is the answer. I think fitness is the answer to so many problems we have in like people's unhappiness, the root of their unhappiness.
I would agree, but sometimes gym fitness isn't always the setting for that.
Not gym fitness, yeah, but like other fitness. Like even if it's just going rock climbing and you make that a weekly thing. Well, weekly is hard too because that you can give up on. It's easy to skip. Oh, Friday I'm not going to go. So it gets out of your lifestyle.
Yeah, but it's like not always about skipping or like changing it up every day to day, or like, hey, my neighbor, he's old, he's trying to mow his lawn. I'll just pop over and mow his lawn. That's good exercise a little bit, you know.
True.
It's also very fulfilling because you help someone else. You're making connections, but a lot of people have problems making connections too. So that.
Do you find?
Now more so than ever because of the technology and.
Really?
Oh yeah,
look at us though.
Everyone's super connected. Yeah, we're the old generation. We're the people who still went outside as children.
Okay.
Like.
I agree actually with that. Like we went outside, we played like ball hockey in the streets and stuff. That was cool, but I really believe social media is helping us connect. That's how we're doing this podcast today.
True, but are you actually seeing those people, or are you just like watching the show and like I'm connected with them? Because that's also maybe a psychological
what was the
issue.
question?
Like you see someone on YouTube and you're watching their YouTube videos actively. Have you actually like connected with them, or have you connected with their like what they're personifying as who they are? Because a lot of people aren't the same in their videos to daily life.
Yeah, that's another issue that we can get into. But I feel like it depends on the person on the other side of the screen, the consumer. Like, what are you consuming? I feel like if you're looking for an authentic connection, you're going to reach out people who are more authentic. You're going to like want to watch people who are more authentic, and then you feel like you're connecting with them because they're so real, and you're like, shit, okay.
But also,
that's why I love Big Brother, because it's such real content.
When you pick and choose things, you tend to pick the things that only you like, so you never see another point of view or maybe another thing.
Yes.
You know, it would help you grow or help you understand why you like what you like more.
I so agree.
I like that because that person likes it and that's how I like things. People use celebrities all the time to like, oh, that celebrity's on Hillary's campaign, I'm going to vote for Hillary because I like that celebrity.
Yeah.
It is a thing that people do. We tend to think, I like that person, I like what they like, you know, without ever maybe meeting them or knowing what they actually like.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know.
But maybe that's just me being old, like not thinking like
you're not old.
How
old are you?
27.
Come on, you're a youngling. You're like a little duckling.
Yeah, but sometimes I see people and I'm just like, oh, you wouldn't think like that if you're older. I'm like, oh no, my parents now.
Oh no, you're becoming that guy.
I hit that point like, you'll understand when you're older.
No,
like, oh,
don't
no.
ever say that, because I've said that to my little brother and sister and I hate myself for saying that. But there are some things when you're
it's totally
young.
Like, you're like, oh,
you're
yeah,
like,
that
oh,
would never, like,
I can't believe I just said that. You'll understand when you're older. Fuck, I hated that sentence. And now I'm doing it sometimes.
Yeah.
But there are some things that you just can't grasp when you're like 10 years old. You just can't understand them. So I'm like, don't worry, you'll get it.
Well, I got myself saying it to myself like in my head and I'm like, oh, I'm old now. Like that's how I classified it. Like oh,
what do you say to a kid? What will you say to a kid?
What will I say to a kid? Like,
that, you'll understand when you're older.
I'll be definitely trying to force kids to make like an actual interaction with someone rather than like an online or just like message board or whatever. Like actually go out and meet that person, talk to them, do something outside, do an activity, you know.
Do an activity outside. That I agree with.
Yeah, but like my aunt bought a place in Milton, and she said that like there was never any kids outside. They were in a new development, so there was tons of young families, and there was never one kid outside, whether it was in the park, whether it was in their own backyards. There was never anyone outside.
But doesn't that show like that the world is changing? And it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing.
No, exactly. It's just like, me stuck in my like
that's
what I'm used to. Being
what
like,
you're used to.
You shouldn't be doing that because that's not what I did. You know,
exactly. At least you can like see that, and it doesn't mean that staying inside is right. It just means that it's new and different. And why are we choosing the screens rather than like physically bouncing a ball? Because it's not stimulating. Yeah. Because our brains want that dose of endorphins and dopamine.
I think the perfect mix of the two is going to be virtual reality. I can't wait till they perfect that shit.
Really?
Oh yeah, because you'll be able to do whatever. You can, if you want to play a game where you're in a war shooting, you can do that. If you want to be back in the day, you can do that.
Yo, that's crazy. You know? Being in a war shooting, maybe that'll fucking... No, actually, I don't think that's a good idea.
No, that'd probably make it worse.
that would make it worse, because then you can't really... What's real and what's fake, and if you practice that, that's like... you're like perfecting your perfect shot, you know?
Well, it all depends. If like I don't know how good VR is gonna get, so a lot of the skills in VR might not carry over to real life. It might be like auto aiming and shit.
I don't know.
Like when there's virtual reality, you can like get a group of people and go like fight a dragon or some shit, which would be pretty cool. Maybe I wouldn't do that every day, but it'd be pretty cool to just do it like once in life. Like I fought a dragon, you know.
You know, I saw this fucking quote and I was like, oh, this is so true. Why do they spend like billions of dollars on Super Bowl ads, yet the shit that we see in movies has no effect on our actions in daily life? So like the guns in movies, like the killing in movies, and that has no effect in real life. Why do you think they spend billions of dollars on Super Bowl ads? Because people know that you're going to go out and fucking buy a Gillette razor after watching that fucking commercial. Because it's in your head for some reason. Subconsciously, consciously.
I think it was working more on the other generations that didn't spend so much time at a screen because they didn't know about all these other products. Like, you probably get ads for whatever you looked up somewhere every day, all the time.
Booty shorts.
Or like
always.
Anything that you look up, you go somewhere that comes up.
Mexico,
like,
yep.
Yeah, whatever you're doing, like we're being bombarded by ads, where the people that aren't with screens all the time aren't. So they see the ad and they're like, oh, Gillette, that's right, I need new razors. They're the only razor company that I know of, like. Whereas us, we're just like, oh, here's this, here's that, here's this, here's that.
Okay, so
like, all
we're
the time.
being bombarded with so much information that one doesn't do anything to us?
Yeah, I don't think it affects us as much. I mean, there's still subliminal things that like, you watch like a Toyota Matrix escape, like the Transformer robot or some shit, and you're like, oh, the Transformer,
cool.
the Toyota Matrix is awesome.
Yeah.
Like there's always those connections. Like, but it's not just the ads that will make those connections. It's you actually like also thinking the product is very cool. Like back in the day, our parents, they liked the specific car because that car was the car to have, and like that kind of carries through to other things.
Yeah,
but
that's
like,
true.
why did they think that car was cool? Did they see it on Dukes of Hazzard and like, oh, it's the Dukes of Hazzard boy? You relate to those characters. So
well, that's it. And there was the Super Bowl ad. One of them this year was bubbly, like a champagne, and they used Michael Bublé. I think. This. So I was hearing in a podcast, ads. So I could have my information wrong.
I don't watch many sports, so I can't say either.
I don't watch the Super Bowl, so I didn't see the ads, but I've heard a lot of talk about them.
But that generated talk because of the bubbly Bublé thing.
That's it.
So that's just them getting their name out there, and someone wants to try something new. They're like, oh, I've seen that, and I'll try that.
And using celebrity really does help for promotion. That's why influencer marketing is huge right now. Like, oh, reach out to influencers because they have a following. People who are just using like buses and billboards, like that's old. That's like,
Speaking of influencers, there's a Netflix series, Fire.
Okay, I haven't heard of it.
Okay, so Fire was a festival that was supposed to take part last year.
Okay.
And they didn't get enough money, so it ended up crashing and burning. Like, they had a private island for this festival to happen on, and they used a bunch of influencers like Instagram models to promote it, to sell tickets. And when it came time to deliver, there was like somewhat of a storm, and like there was beds outside getting rained on. People started looting because like the event actually got canceled, and the guy just kept promoting it. Like they never had enough money to do this event in the first place, and they just kept going on with it. And now they're facing prison time.
Oh my god!
The two guys that started it. And they made a Netflix documentary about like that entire festival that went to shit.
Crap. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta know your shit.
Yeah, exactly. But you see your favorite Instagram model promoting it, and you're like, oh, I want to go to that festival. That's gonna be dope. And you go there, and it's just a shit show.
That's crazy, man.
I think they even needed like aid workers to go and help out over there because it turned into such a shit show.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. Okay, we got into porn, which...
we got into influencers.
We got into entertainment. And I guess I just want to wrap up the porn aspect and be like, sorry if we offended anyone. It's always...
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Seriously, though. Sorry, not sorry. Because, like, we're just, like... leaving the floor so open to talk about these ideas. We're not saying we're right. We're not like claiming to be almighty people who know their shit.
There is no right per like just one person. Everyone has their different right.
Yeah. And the whole point of this is to just open up ideas and minds and get some conversations flowing because this is what it's all about.
Yeah. If we see enough comments in the YouTube in the comment section,
we'll do a part 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Just some questions.
Yeah.
Not that I know any better, but I'll slightly look into it.
He's the master of
masturbator.
The master debater.
I said masturbator.
Okay, so we got into that. We got into influencers, and we got into entertainment. I want to close off with my last questions, which are fun for me. Okay, do you have any life hacks to give someone to make their day better? Do you do anything that could really help someone out?
Do I do anything that can really help someone out? Just being a little bit flexible, going with the flow a little bit. Like, if you're always stressed and rigid in one routine, like, it's easy to get super stressed. So
what do you mean in one routine? Eating the same thing every day? That's not...
No, but I mean, like, if you're set on, like, I have to wake up at this time, have to go to work at that time, have to come home at this time, you know, and, like, I can't do anything else in between there. Like, that's probably not great for you. Like, you should be a little bit more relaxed, because otherwise you'll get super stressed, like, if one thing goes bad, and, like, it will ruin your day, maybe your week.
What if someone's life is set up that they have to be in a routine?
Well, I would say, like, even if you have to be in that routine, being in it all the time, like, you gotta find some time for yourself to do, like, a randomness in there. Like,
what about the weekends? If they have the weekends?
If they have the weekends, but some people pack their weekends with too much stuff.
Yeah.
And then they find it hard to make promises with other people that they maybe want to see.
Yeah.
Like, you should always, like, even if you're paying for something and you have to go to it, you shouldn't feel like you have to. You should feel like you want to. You shouldn't ever feel like you have to do that.
So be flexible.
Yeah. Be a bit more flexible.
Be a bit more
like,
flexible.
in your daily routines, in your life a little bit, you know.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Omnipotency?
What?
Omnipotency.
What the heck is that?
Being like God, being omnipotent. Having all the powers.
Omnipotent. That's how I read it. Omnipotent.
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 Yes.
Oh,
More British.
Sick. Omnipotent. So, like... so what are your powers?
My powers are everything. I can create, I can destroy, I can turn invisible.
That's too much power.
Doesn't everybody want to be like God?
Oh my god, that's like the most intense superpower. So like you could end my life right now if you wanted.
I did. No.
That's sad. Would you actually do that? Walk around ending people's lives? If you're like, I don't like you. You're a disgrace to this earth.
I'd like to say no.
Mark!
You never know. Maybe you're purging the world of bad guys. Who knows?
But maybe you are the bad guy.
Well, at some point you do become the bad guy, but no one can do
Too
anything because you have all the power.
Good. Too much power is not good.
Well, what's that?
But that's
power corrupts absolutely. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Oh yeah,
that's not a good superpower.
Just think if I was like, what? I don't like that. I can just get rid of that from the world, and no one would know, and there wouldn't be a problem.
That's a scary. That I think you're.
But at the same time, in world hunger, you know.
Yeah, so we got to make sure you're a good person.
Yeah.
For that power.
Just don't give it to anybody.
Except for you, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yo,
you can trust me.
You're the evil character on this show so far with the evil superpowers.
No, I'm chaotic. Chaotic neutral.
Mm-hmm. The last question I have is, what do you think the purpose of life is?
I think the purpose of life is just living and enjoying. You know, find a good mixture of happiness, sadness, emotion. It's
emotion.
Yeah. Why else are we here if we're not having emotion, if we're not living, if we're not doing anything, you know?
But that's really interesting because before we put on the podcast, you said like, you know, I don't really care about anything.
Yeah, but I still have emotion. I still enjoy stuff. Stuff still makes me sad or angry.
Okay.
You know, it's just find a good balance of all that and just like enjoy it. You know, we're going to die either way. Might as well just do something enjoyable along the way.
So ride the roller coaster.
Yeah, ride all the waves. You know, you can only feel so happy because you felt so sad. You can, you know.
That's sad. But so you need the sadness to feel happiness.
Because otherwise, if you're always like, let's just say one state of happy, then you're not happy anymore because you haven't.
Because that's your normal state.
Yeah, that's just normal, you know. So you can't always be too happy because then where are you going to go up from there? You won't. So, but you can't always stay sad because you're going to just,
crash and burn.
It's going to be bad, you know. So you got to have a good mixture of happy, sadness.
And then you just die. So if you're on and then you're on your deathbed and you're like, okay, I was happy and sad a lot. I lived a good life.
Yeah.
I felt the emotions.
Create a bucket list. Try to get some of those things done. You know? Everyone always does it on their deathbed. You should do it much before because like once you're on your deathbed, you can't do it.
3 things that are on your bucket list.
Oh, I definitely want to go like to Japan and snowboard over there because I hear they got sick powder. Yeah, the good nar.
The good gnar.
Knee-deep powder.
Okay.
And what else?
Yeah, I don't have a bucket list.
Eat some delicious food. Like I don't know.
I think you've accomplished that.
No. There's something out there. There's something out there that I'm missing that I want that I need
tried.
that I gotta eat. But you gotta go to different cultures to experience that. You can't always just like, I'm having my poutine.
I know.
You know?
I'm
Maybe
so
maybe
not a
some people
foodie.
want to try the best poutine. Is there?
But
a
it
best
would be
poutine?
here.
It'd be here. Yeah, it won't be anywhere else.
Native to us.
Does anyone else make poutine?
No,
Not
and it's
good.
poutine.
Poutine.
It's poutine.
Poutine call
Poutine,
this.
C'est comment? Yeah,
Viens ici,
okay.
on va manger de bonnes poutres.
Pousse. No, on appelle, no.
We're not shortening it?
On
Okay, we
fait
won't
ça,
shorten
no.
it.
And the third thing on your bucket list?
A third thing.
Yeah.
I gotta create a better bucket list, but I don't
these are
know
good.
about a third thing.
Snowboarding in Japan, eating amazing puts.
A third thing. I can't find a third thing.
That means that you're really happy,
Yeah, I guess it's pretty good.
right? Like, you're not longing to do anything. You're not.
I guess the more experience, like once I've gone to Japan, you know, I'm
You'll have something
I'm gonna
else.
have to come something else. Maybe
Yeah.
there's something. Maybe there's a culture or something I've seen over there.
Yeah.
I'm leaving my list open, but I don't want to overcrowd my list either because I want to make sure I do all those things.
That's
you know?
true. I like it.
Yeah.
Sick, man. We're gonna peace. Peace, guys. See you next week for the next episode.
See ya.